What's up, YouTube? Eddie from 802 Diesel Crew. Today we're going to be taking a look at the starting system in the CRV. We're going to do a hypothetical no-start situation. We're going to imagine that previous to this day that this car was running fine, had no starting issues, and then today I got in and it wouldn't start. So we're going to go through a diagnosis process. I'll be showing you how to use a starter switch to test both your alternator and then how to test it to see if it will crank over. So stay tuned. Alright, so first off we're going to go through some of the items that you need. It's best to have these all laid out before you start your project, so you can either, if you're working as, as a tech or whatever, you can just move right through the process pretty quick. Might want to have a roll cart or something right now. I just have my big toolbox, so I'd have something else. Either these in a bag and then lay them out as a need or something along those lines. First thing that you want, these are good jumpers. I made these. They're just gator clips on either end, so you can attach them to different wires. And it's fused, so I can put it in line with my meter, and I'm not going to blow the fuse in the meter. The meter has a fuse inside, kind of like a household fuse. And that fuse is upwards of $30, and you have to take the whole thing apart. So that'd be downtime for you, which isn't good. So some different size leads could help you out. I have, these are the three ones that I have mainly. Some kind of light for those, for those situations where you need to get in and look. You can move it around. You can put it wherever. This thing has a magnet on it, so it's, it's pretty legit. You can put it on any metal item, really. Random assortment of screwdrivers for taking off. Maybe you have to get, move an air intake out of the way, or move some items out of the way. Pair of cutters if you have to get in there and cut something away. Maybe a wire tie or a stubborn Christmas tree pin that you're gonna have to cut and replace. Pair of needle nose for pulling out fuses or for getting clips off from different hoses that might be in the way. Possibly a pair of strippers, some tape, a starter switch of some sort, and then obviously your flute meter. I have this one, and then I have another one that I picked up during Christmas time, which was just a Craftsman one. This one's cheaper. I use this for situations where I'm not certain about the amperage and the volts in a system, and if I have a feeling that I might put that one in harm's way because that one's a lot more expensive, I will use this one. I think I paid $25 for it. First step, you're going to want to get the layout of your vehicle. On this particular vehicle, I can see the batteries here, and then down in here, I can see the starters right here. This hose is in the way, but the starters right here. So you just want to get the general layout. Know where everything's at for other tools that you might need. Then you're going to want to locate your fuse box. As you can see, my fuses are up in here. And then you're going to want to locate, for this is going to be your ignition coil. So I don't know, you guys can see it right there. It says ignition coil. So you simply match this up with what you have going on in the car, and we're going to pull that fuse to see if the fuse is good. Now, this was pretty easy for me because the 15 fuse is the one that goes to the ignition, so I'll pull that out real quick with my needle nose. Take a look at it. Yep, it is complete, so we know that's not the issue. Put that back in with my needle nose. Making sure not to break it. Okay, we'll reinstall the cap here, so we don't have to do that later on. Next step is we're going to break out our voltmeter. Set it up in a place that we can see it. Now we're going to test the battery to see if the battery is healthy. I like to cross my leads to zero it out first. And I'll pull back your rubber booties to make sure you're going to get a good connection. And then we go, black is negative, red's positive. See if I can do this so you guys can see it read out. 12.6. Got a great battery here. The health of the battery is perfect. Alright, those that don't know, for your charging in your alternator system, basically what happens here is your alternator maintains charge of your battery, and your battery is just used to really run your lights and things like that. So when you're driving down the road, your alternator is running all your amenities, and it's putting a charge back into your battery. Alternators fluctuate in volts they put out, but it's usually around 14, give or take. And a healthy battery is at 12.6. There's 6 segments in a battery, and each segment holds 2.1 volts. So 2.1 times 6 is 12.6. That makes sense. And we're making headway here. So the battery is good. That fuse is good. The next step is we're going to be testing the starter to see if it turns over in place. Mind you, it's not going to engage, but we'll be able to hear it turn over. So let's check that out. Now every vehicle is going to be a little bit different. To ease up, you get into the alternator down there. Going to have to take this air intake off. So usually, it has a couple like hose clamps on here that you'll have to loosen up. Take off the breather tube here, get that out of the way. And then this thing should just slide right out of the way. Put it in a safe spot. I'll be able to grab that clamp right now. Try not to lose parts. Nobody likes airplane parts. You put something back together and then you have all those bonus parts. That's never a good day. Now we're ready to take a look at the starter down here. In here. See if I can get this light to show a little bit better. I'll put that right. Perfect, right there. So down here you're going to have a couple terminals. This is going to be your positive. This is going to be your ground case. This is going to be your ground for your case, and right here is your start terminal, your S terminal. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the starter button between the ground and the positive, and try to test this thing out. Or you can go from the positive of here to the positive of the battery and be able to do the same kind of operation. So I'll take one of my gator clips of my starter switch. I'll put it on that positive down there. Crank this so you guys can see a little bit better. And this one, I'm going to put down here. It's going to be kind of hard, but I want you guys to see how you can do this. Alright, so we're all hooked up. Now I'll take the starter switch, and this starter should turn over. It's not going to engage, but it's definitely going to turn over, and we'll be able to make sure that it's not seized up. That's the sound you want to hear. That means that it's free spinning in there. It's not pushing the gear out to hit your crank, but it is rotating in there, and it's free. What I'm hooked up to right there, that's called the solenoid. All right? So we know that's good. Next step, I'm going to have to adjust some of the wiring and take off the connector to that S terminal. Next step is to take off that S terminal connection right there. So you want to be careful, you don't want to ruin that. It's just a regular old clip on there. And that exposes, you can't quite see it, but trust me, there's a connection down here. And that's what we're going to be shooting for here next. So I'll get my starter switch back out. And this is where you're going to want to get out your alligator clips because I got big old hands and those clips on the other one aren't that good. So I'll take out my gator clip. And I'll get it right on that S terminal. See how it is right there? Alright, so the next step is just take my starter switch again. You're going to connect one side of it to your S switch. And then you're going to connect the other side to your battery. You're going to want to make sure that you take away any loose items that might be jerked off, because this thing's just going to crank, so the engine's going to move. And you don't want to have any problems with stuff falling down where you don't want it. Two other really important steps. Make sure the e-brake is on, the vehicle is in neutral. With a for a standard. For an automatic, make sure it's in park and the e-brake is engaged as well. So here we have, nothing fell off. Here we have our starter switch, and now the engine should crank over but not start. Right, so now we know that the starter is good, and we can go from there. Here's the general layout. We have my starter switch here. One of the cables is going up to the battery. We've got a gator clip down here to my S terminal, and it has a fuse on it. It's fused, and the other lead comes up to my starter. Let's do that one more time so you can see it turn over. You don't want to do that too much. You're going to put too much amperage through your starter. You might have the chance of burning wires up, so you want to take it real easy on that. Right now we can diagnose that the starter is good, the battery is good, and we'll go from there. So right there, we've checked the issue out. It's either the starter ignition, so the ignition in the car, or the relay. The relay we can pull out and we can check ohms on that. I'm not going to do that today because this is a good running vehicle and I don't want to risk, it's an older vehicle, I don't want to risk having to replace that part. And I don't want to take apart the dash, so we're not going to look at that. But situations like this, this is a good way to kind of break down the steps. Every time, especially if you're a tech, every time that you do something, you should start the same procedure in the same way. That'll just make you more proficient and faster. So always check fuses, check the amperage in the battery, and then go from there. Check the affected item. The starter, you could take it out and bench test it, but you can do it right in the car. You can see I let it free spin first to make sure it wasn't seized up, and then I actually checked the function of it, turning the car over. Safety steps, you always want to make sure that the car is in park or it's in neutral, and you have the e-brake pulled and possibly a tire chopped. Going from there, these are just things that you can do at your house, or as a tech you need to get proficient at. People don't like doing wiring stuff because diagrams are hard to understand, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Knowledge is power, and then you just go from there. Never stop learning. These situations, growing up as a kid, there wasn't a whole lot of money coming in, so me and my brother always had to tech out our own problems, and we did that by reading books, looking it up online, and then asking elders that had that knowledge already. That's where that whole respect thing comes in. There's people out there, you don't know what they've done in their lives, and they probably have something to teach you. So always be looking out for those people and those learning opportunities. With that said, I want to thank all my viewers. You guys have given me unwavering support. I appreciate that. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up. Please share it. I really like these videos to be a community of learning. Leaving comments that might help somebody else that views it. Like I tried this or I did that. I'm not saying my way is the right way, but this is the way that I do it, and it's worked so far. So maybe you leave a comment and that will change my whole perspective on how to do this. But until then, you know who it is. Eddie from 802 Diesel Crew, signing out. Have a great day.